Aloha, this is Eyre, and I'm answering questions that have come in from social media and email. And a question was, when am I going to learn more about your campaign? Well, good news. These are going to be arriving on your doorstep the week before the ballots arrive, which is October 9th, and after. So if you've seen one of these, I'd like to talk a little bit about these. A committee helped come up with these cards, and I'm so grateful to them. You can see here on the front is a picture of my family, and I do have 5 kids. My oldest just started college as a freshman. She graduated from Kekalike last year, and my youngest is a first grader. And all of my kids are in public school, and I'm dealing with those same very difficult public school, not in person issues that you are as well. And those of you who have reached out to me on social media, we share a lot of concerns. I am a working mom. I'm working from home, and I have 4 kids who are online trying to do school at the same time as well, and it's a struggle. But here you can see those kids and my husband, and it puts here on the back my priorities as a council member when I'm elected. And that first one is that positive economic recovery. And even before the pandemic, there has always been a lot of talk about economic diversity, and not a lot has been done. My concern, even before the pandemic, is that we are not clear with small businesses and medium-sized businesses on what the regulatory framework is. We overtax them. And as a government, we give our attention to the big corporations that have their profit structure based overseas. If you look at our resorts, they're almost all owned by out-of-state companies. The people who manage them are out-of-state companies. I'm not anti-tourism or anything like that, but we see like 80% of our tourist dollars head out off island. And that's because we provide all these tax loopholes to these big companies, and we do nothing for small businesses and medium-sized businesses. And that is why we have almost no economic diversity. We don't need to force economic diversity. We need to allow it to happen. We don't need to throw money at it as a government. We need to take a breath, and we need to find those pukas and make sure that they are filled up for our small businesses so that they can function clearly on a clear path. So that is a big issue right now with the pandemic. And how do we safely reopen? I can tell you right now, it is not the plan that is in place. Not allowing inter-island travel is not good for our residents. That again shows how the government focuses on people overseas and doesn't care about our small businesses and totally ignores the amount of economic diversity that comes from our island sharing an economic base. That bothers me. I also feel like there has not been clear governance through the pandemic, and there's not clear governance at all. So it talks about that there. We need clear governance, and that means we know what's going to happen. We know what decisions are being made. Everything is very out in the open. You can go in and find out everyone's voting record. You can find out, what businesses need to do to thrive here. That needs to just be clear instead of covered or hidden, which is what we've been dealing with for a few decades here in the state and in the county. The brighter future for increased educational options. We have a huge capability here to have a thriving education economy. So that means having more healthcare education options here on island. So we bring in better doctors and nurses to help educate our residents so that they can work in healthcare, and better education options for our high-tech industries as well, and for farming. We have all these education options. Again, regulations prevent a lot of those. The cost of doing business and regulations. And a lot of that cost of doing business has to do with rent and lease costs, and there are ways that the county could change their regulation structure to decrease those costs as well. And then something else that we need is a more efficient and effective Maui County government. So that means departments that run smoothly, that have department heads that are professionals, that know what they're doing, have experience in the field, and our departments just need to run better. I reach out to those employees of the county, and they agree with me. We need to run better. It needs to be a better working environment for all of our loyal, wonderful county employees. And that's going to happen through having a professional managing director, stopping the cronyistic mayor appoints all the directors into the departments. We need to stop those things. We need to get professionalism and support our county workers so that they can do their job well. We need to increase the safeguards on our residents' health, and that again comes through inviting more education opportunities for our healthcare sector and just really bolstering that. We should be a beacon to the rest of the world in what we could do in healthcare. We have really fabulous healthcare workers here. They need support and they need the government to allow more education opportunities. And then my last, but probably the most important thing is addressing the environment. Again, I see Maui County as having the opportunity to be a world leader in environmental issues. We have a small population here. People are very concerned about this. Again, we need government support. We need to work hand in hand with our nonprofits, and we need to get our environmental stewardship under control. We need to be stewards of the Aina. We need to watch out for our environment. I talk about that in another video, but there's lots of small things we can do. There are big things that we can do, and that needs to take precedence. It's when we take care of our open spaces, that boosts our economy. When we find ways to mitigate climate change, that protects us from disasters that would harm our businesses and our families. It's all interconnected. I would never say environment overall squash the businesses, because a healthy, great environmental platform is one that supports families, residents, and our economy all in one. Again, my name is Eyre. I look forward to answering your questions. If you have questions or concerns, please send me an email at asiaformaui@gmail.com or on my website. Thank you.